Okay, so I wanted to show a few more things using the AutoPilot software, particularly around the orbit functionality. First is showing, I was with a friend of mine showing her the focus feature. Again, this continues to work very, very well, just backwards and forwards, up and down. Does a pretty good job of maintaining focus on me as it should. But my primary interest is trying to get through and test the orbit functionality. So this was initially a counterclockwise orbit, and I've sped this up a little bit. What I'm finding with the orbit is that, particularly on smaller orbits, and I'll show an example of this in a second, it tends to drift, more of an elliptical pattern than a circular. You can see I'm also getting a little bit better at understanding how this thing works. You pick a point for the quadcopter to rotate around, and you can also pick a point for where the camera remains focused. So in this case, I had it focused on me and at the same place where it's circulating around. So it does a pretty good job, again, as you can see, of keeping me in focus and going around. I think at this point I shifted it out, and so at this point I shifted it out a little bit further. I think went from 100 feet radius to 150 feet, and then just try to do a counterclockwise orbit. Again, pretty good job of keeping me in focus. So I'll stop it there. So here's where I wanted to kind of show where I think the product needs a little help, and I think people are having the most concern, is trying to pick a smaller object and having it do an orbit around that. So like, picking where I'm at right now, there is a tower, and having this thing go around the tower in a reliable manner is a little disconcerting. So you can see I've probably got this thing at a 30 or 40 foot radius set on this thing, maybe 30, 40 feet in the air. So I was trying to get this thing to circle around me. I also was trying to get the speed down. Thought maybe that would help things better. The only problem was at some point it just stopped. I think maybe here it just, I had the speed set at 0 to 100. 100 would be really fast. 30 is pretty damn fast. But I had it set at about 9. And at this point, as you can see, I'm kind of confused staring at this thing because it's not moving. I think I bumped it up to 9, 10, 11. And at 11, yeah, and it started moving again. And I started rotating around. So it's still the concerning side of trying to make it do a tight orbit any better than you could. I can do a better orbit by myself manually than using the software. Really nice for big orbits, not as good for shorter ones. So the final thing I did, and it's just some more playing for my part, was with the follow me side. I had done it in my previous test, with not too maybe 75 feet away. This was 100 feet away, and again, it could, I'll speed this up even more. It does a pretty damn good job of keeping with me, even as I'm moving backwards and forwards, modifying the gimbal. The other thing, I'm just going to see it following me. I did actually get my external GPS, and I plan on testing that hopefully soon. The goal being to see if if I can give that to somebody else, for example, somebody a stadium or a field, and it'll follow them, so they don't have to carry around the control over the iPad, which is what it's following right now. And then the final thing that I did here, you can see it do, so right now, this was at north, following me. So this just showed how you could swap it around. I had it switched to the other side. So this is kind of interesting. If you're using it on a boat, you could have it follow in front of the boat, and then very easily have it swap to. Actually, it's interesting because this is direction, it's not direction. So this is north to south. I'm going to have to play with it to see if I could make sure that it would stay directionally to the boat, depending upon which direction the boat's going. This thing I've got to play with a little bit more. But you can see I was taking it out with it.